Howdy, I need to pick up my little brother from his elementary school to go home, but I need your help to find the distance from my high school to his elementary school. Alright, the first step is to look at what we know. So I already know that the distance from my high school to my house is 30 meters far. I also already know that the distance from my little brother's elementary school to the house is 50 meters. Our last known is that it's a straight distance forward from my high school to the elementary school, and a straight distance to the right from my high school to my house. Based off of the information that I have, I know that the lines from my high school to the house and my high school to the elementary school are perpendicular, which means it's a right triangle. So I can use Pythagorean theorem to solve for the distance between my high school and my little brother's elementary school. The Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a squared and b squared represent the lengths of the legs of the triangle and c squared represents the length of the hypotenuse of the triangle. Now to solve for the missing length from my high school to the elementary school, we start with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Then we plug in our knowns, which is 30 for b squared and 50 for c squared. Then we do 30 squared, which is 900, and 50 squared, which is 2,500. Next, we're going to subtract 900 from both sides to get a squared alone. The 900s cancel and 2,500 minus 900 equals 1,600, which leaves us with a squared equals 1,600. Then we're going to find the square root of a squared and 1,600. Finally, the square root and the a squared cancel to leave us with a, and the square root of 1,600 is 40. So we get the answer of a equals 40. Now all that's left to do is to plug in our numbers. The distance from my high school to my house is 30 meters. The distance from my little brother's elementary school to the house is 50 meters. And we now know that the distance from my high school to my little brother's elementary school is 40 meters. What if we had the distance from my high school to the house as 5 blocks and the distance from my high school to the elementary school as 12 blocks? So a becomes 12 and b becomes 5. Now we have 12 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared, which is 144 plus 25 equals c squared. 144 plus 25 is 169. Then we take the square root of each side, which cancels out the c squared, and end up with 13 equals c. So we know the distance from the high school to the house is 5 blocks, the distance from the high school to the elementary school is 12 blocks, and the distance from the elementary school to the house is 13 blocks. Well, that's the end of this problem. Thanks and gig 'em.